Dwyane Wade, so classy, he's such a savvy vet, and these are his numbers. And I got to tell you, there's times when Wade, even with Jimmy Butler, has been the best player in a Chicago uniform this year. And now he's working through some roster changes. Chicago's 6th in the East, coming off a win against the Warriors. They have the Clippers at the UC. So just some thoughts on his acclimation there, going back home, and what he has meant to the Chicago Bulls.
Well, you said it yourself. I mean, he's a class act, a professional in every sense of the word. And it's interesting, your first reaction after the trade deadline, after they trade away some veteran guys, and here you got Wade, Rondo, and Butler left there with all these young ones, right? And I was the first one to criticize it, but it seems like Dwyane Wade is embracing his role as a leader and competing and trying to get into the playoffs seems to be his mission. And, you know, for the Chicago Bulls, look, they know their team better than anyone. And what they do have, they've got Wade, Butler, and Rondo, 3 vets that are extremely competitive and they're going to compete regardless of what happens. And listen, I mean, the Bulls may in fact make the playoffs and make some noise here. I like some of their young players, and I was the first one to criticize during the trade deadline. What are they doing?
Yes.
But given some time, some of these young guys like, you know, Zipser and Bobby Portis and some of these young players, perhaps with some opportunity, they make Wade a hero here.
Perhaps. It was a head-scratcher, though, at the trade deadline.
I agree.
But so far, yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, if you look at Chicago and they're sitting there with all the things that's going on, they're in the 6th spot.
Yeah.
You're sitting there saying, okay, we're still in the 6th spot with all the turmoil we've had, with all the turnover, and now you're looking at Dwyane Wade. I think Dwyane Wade's going to be there. I think the reason why they're in the 6th spot through all the adversity that they've had is because you got a guy like that in that locker room. You know, and we don't see or hear the day-to-day stuff that goes on in the NBA locker room, but I can guarantee you, Dwyane Wade, when they was going through their toughest times, he was still had his hands on those players, reminding them that we got to stay together, we got to play together. We can't let the noise of outside come into this locker room. And right now, Chicago's in the 6th spot. Look, I don't know if they can do anything special come playoff time, but I do know that they're going to make the playoffs because of Dwyane Wade, his stability, being a veteran leader, and the fact that there are nights where he's still the best player on the court.
Right,
and I love Jimmy Butler, but I think Chicago's in pretty good shape right now. It forces Fred to play the young guys, and now everybody's fitting into their role. And now the leadership pecking order is back in line. Jimmy Butler, Dwyane Wade / Jimmy Butler, Dwyane Wade kind of on the same level, and now it's everyone else.
Is Chicago, Stu, before we go to break here, are they the Memphis of the East in terms of facing them in that first round? Is that a fair comparison? Just the danger that they might provide you?
I don't think it's a fair comparison for the Bulls, just simply because they're so young and inexperienced. And they're going to end up, if they do make the playoffs, being in the playoffs with a lot of inexperienced guys that haven't seen that before.
I guess what I'm saying is maybe a team you wouldn't want to, I mean, if you're going to open up the playoffs, that's a...
Yeah, you don't want to play them because, they've got energy. I mean, they've got youthfulness and energy that, you know, is sort of counter to their lack of experience. So, no, you don't want to face anyone, you know, in the playoffs that has a renewed sense of purpose, which is what I think the Chicago Bulls have, you know, at this juncture.
Did I try to reshape you to be along with me on that?
You convinced me.
That's what I'm talking about, Stu. That's what I'm talking about. You're already ahead for the next matchup. He's already scored for the next time we play, Sam. You're already in the hole for that.
I'm convinced that I'm beginning to shaft.